Talkman Radio Show Live. We are here the week after the Super Bowl, talking about fantasy football. Not a lot to talk about in fantasy football, but we're going to do our best. We're going to talk about football, basically. Let's get into we'll get into the recap of what happened. It's freaking freezing down here. That's why I got so I'm a little bundled. But, hey, welcome to the show. Hope you like the Super Bowl. We'll get into the best bets part of it. There's nothing to bet on, but we're going to do the results. First things first, 12 Ounce Sports. Glad you're here. Welcome to 12 Ounce Sports. If you've never been here before, this is Talkman Radio Show Live, where we talk about fantasy football. And if you're new to 12 Ounce Sports, it's 12OunceSportsRadio.com, where you can catch all the articles and information there. You can also get to the store where you get your t-shirts. You can donate to us, all that good stuff. Social media for 12 Ounce Sports is, you can find them on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Talkman Radio. We've had a few issues. We had a couple issues with social media. So we're kind of off it for now. Maybe we'll come back to it at some point, but I don't see it. Too much craziness. They keep yelling at me. Anything I do, they yell at me. So I was like, yeah, screw it. I knocked them all out. Maybe we'll get into something else. I don't know. I want to find some new social media things because the good thing about newer social media things that are popping up is not a lot of fantasy football. You can get a lot more traction on Twitter and all there's a zillion of them. I told when I was on Twitter, I talked to a couple of them, but there's a zillion of them plus other sports things. So it's kind of diluted. That's why I'm looking for new social media things, and maybe I'll join. I gotta check them out first. You can find Talkman Radio on one platform, that's YouTube, and I don't even know how long I'm gonna be on there. I'm looking for other platforms on there too to make videos. I just like making videos. So, and of course, you can catch me here every Friday at 6 o'clock. We're gonna talk about football at the very least. When fantasy comes around, we get into that a lot more. Now it's kind of like the off season, so we're gonna we'll figure out what we're gonna talk about every week's gonna be freaking adventure every week. Actually, we're gonna talk about the upcoming fantasy football season and things that are. We're gonna get into the draft real soon. That's freaking like 2 months away. It just keeps rolling. So anyway, you can Talkman Radio. You can catch me here every Friday 6 p.m. and on YouTube. Usually Saturdays at the latest Sunday. Well, Saturdays, it's usually Saturdays you can catch the clips of the show, like Love is Nice. Love is Nice is on hiatus until the next season starts, or at least preseason. We'll probably do something there. Those movies are terrible. So it's usually that, but every week I'll probably take some things out of the show and throw them on YouTube. And always subscribe to the YouTube channel, Talkman Radio. You can find it on YouTube. And we'd love to have you. If you listen to the show, hey, throw a subscription there. And you can catch all the episodes of Love is Nice on there for the 2020 season. I got to break it up into seasons now. But, we have some fun on there. And every week, I love to come out here and talk to you for an hour about football stuff until the fantasy starts. So, I'm just yapping. I got an hour to fill and I got no football. So I'm going to sit here and talk about, hey, you want to talk about the redistricting for like 45 minutes? So, let me do the rundown real quick. So I do actually have a show for you. I do have things to talk about. First, of course, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl recap. I'm not going to get into the nonsense that happened after the Super Bowl. That's all social media crap. In case you don't know, Tyrann Mathieu, look that nonsense up. I think it was a guy, Rob Parker, bashing Brady. They just bashed Brady. They did some social media nonsense. I'm not kidding. I'm so over social media. Just stop. I'll tell you what. You want to get my regular opinion, just a PSA, Talkman PSA. You want to get your head back to normal? You think this is crazy with all the Mexican beer plague running around? You want to get back to normal? Get off social media. Go outside. Go outside and meet people. Even with a freaking thing on your face. But yeah, social media is just awful. Anyway, so we do Super Bowl recap. I got some news on some fantasy. We're gonna go over the two Super Bowl teams, and I got a couple guys that I'm wondering if they're moving and what their fantasy value is gonna be. So we're talking about that. We're talking about Trevor Lawrence. He's gonna be the new face of Jacksonville. I got some issues with that, and rookie quarterbacks overall. And of course, since we're talking about rookie quarterbacks coming in the league next year, I got to bring up the Parcells rules, which I go with. I got to go with it. So that's basically the rundown of the show tonight. So we're gonna get into all that stuff, fantasy implications on rookies coming in the league. I don't see that much, but you could have Justin Herbert in there. We'll look at it. I've got an article that I was looking up that goes over some of the top quarterbacks. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, that's the rundown. And before we get started, of course, gotta love 12-ounce sports. Just want to take a moment to tell you about 12-ounce sports. Now that the action is officially back on, 12-ounce sports is your home for the best live talk shows covering all aspects of the sporting world and live game broadcasts. With Zingo TV adding 12-ounce sports to their long list of channels, you can now catch my show and all the others on Zingo TV channel 761. All you got to do is download Zingo TV and use the promo code 12-ounce. That's 12OZ when signing up. It's that simple. Be sure to check out our latest blogs, not blobs. I'm the only blob on 6 o'clock. The latest blogs and podcasts as well on 12OunceSportsRadio.com. Yeah, go check it out. And like I said, you can get, check out the merch. You got T-shirt. You get all kinds of stuff. I spent a couple bucks this Christmas. I tried to make it a 12-ounce sports Christmas. We'll see. We'll see what happens. See if anybody throws it back in my face. So, let's get into it. What are we wasting time for? First things first. Now, let's get into that. We'll get into that. So, we had the Super Bowl on Sunday. In case you didn't know, in case you're just waking up from a coma, Bucs beat the Chiefs 31-9. I want to go over. Here's how I want to go over it real quick. First, I want to go over the drive summaries, and I was going over this, and I was like, wow, that was really. I'm going to go over this and the dominance of that defense. Now, there were factors into that, and I'll go over that. But I want to go over this real quick. In the first quarter, Bucs get the ball, 3 plays, 4 yards, you're done. Then the Chiefs get the ball. Actually, I should just do the Chiefs, but I'll do them both. Chiefs get the ball, 6 plays, 16 yards, and we're done. Bucs get the ball back. 4 plays, 9 yards, and we're done. Chiefs get the ball. This is all in the first quarter, I think. Yes, all in the first quarter. Chiefs get the ball. 8 plays, 26 yards. 8 plays, 26 yards. Kick a field goal, 3-0. All in the first quarter. These are all just bing, 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 bing. Then, here we go. All right, we're done with this. Brady gets the ball back. 8 plays, 70 yards. 8-yard touchdown to Gronk. 7-3, they're up. Chiefs get the ball back. All in the first quarter. Chiefs get the ball back. 3 plays, 6 yards. Now, in the first quarter, the Chiefs had 6, 26, 32, 48 yards. 48 yards offense in the first quarter. It's not great. But like I said, I have my issues with that. So we'll get into that more. So we get back. 7-3 going into the second quarter. Brady gets the ball. 9 plays, 54 yards. Turnover on downs. They were at the 1-yard line. This could have gotten worse. 9 plays, 54 yards, and they get stopped at the 1-yard line. And the Chiefs got momentum now. All right, here we go. We're down 7-3. We come down. We're going to score some points, get into this, turn this into a Super Bowl. Not really. Nah. 4 plays, 16 yards. Punt. So, okay, we're going to go back. And Brady gets the ball back. 6 plays, 28 yards. And touchdown to Gronk. That one where he went that way. And I'm doing this. And we're going this way. That was a nice pass. They've been playing together for so long that you just know what's going to happen. And now it's 14-3. Hey, wait a minute. What's going on? 14-3. 14-3? Yo, I'm laying 3.5. What's going on here? Yeah, well, shouldn't take my bet. Now, I was only right on half of those. But so, all right. Okay. We're getting the ball back now. Here we go now. Now the Chiefs with all that offense. Here we go. Good drive. 10 plays, 61 yards. Field goal. You're starting to feel what's going on now. Like, hey, wait a minute. These guys can't score. Something's going on here. This defense looks really good. This defense is chasing after this guy. What's going on here? Well, okay, we're probably going to go into the half. There's only 55 seconds left. We'll go into the half at 14-6. But wait a minute. Tom Brady, 5 plays, 29 yards, touchdown. Antonio Brown, 21-6. And Chiefs get the ball, 1 play, -1 yard into the half. So wait a minute. What's going on here with the 21-6? 21-6? These guys are supposed to be the greatest offense ever. You got Kelsey. I've been pruning Kelsey's balls all year with this guy's got nice balls playing for me. I'm good with Kelsey. Tyreek Hill. I like Tyreek Hill, but I don't want too many of these guys. My mistake. I didn't think you can cover. You can have a good fantasy team with 2 wide receivers from the same team. Okay, I'll go with on that. Didn't do terrible this fantasy season. I wouldn't have minded having Tyreek Hill on my team this year, even with Travis Kelce. So, at the end of the half, we're looking at 21-6. 21-6. Yo, I got money on this. Okay. We dust off. Knocking shit over. We dust ourselves off. We come back. Get a touchdown real quick. We're starting off the third quarter. Get a touchdown. Go for the 2. And we're back in this. We're good to go. We're good. Don't worry. We got you. Third quarter starts. 7 plays, 47 yards. Geek the field goal. We geek it. 21-9. 21-9? Wait a minute. All right. All right. We're in the third quarter now. Okay, we're still, we're within 2 scores. We're okay. It's still third quarter. We're good. But, come on, guys. We got to get this going. We got to get some touchdowns on it. You can't have them scoring touchdowns and us scoring field goals. So, come on. What are we doing, Casey? Let's go. We got to stop. We're giving Tom Brady the ball back. We got to stop him, and then we get the ball back, okay? Oh, wait, what? What happened? 6 plays, 74 yards. 24-9, 27 yards, touchdown. 28-9. What? How is this happening now? All right, we got to turn it on. It's 28-9. We got to turn this on. We're done with this. We got to start throwing the ball around and making some plays. 3 plays, -3 yards. Pick. Pick. Tampa gets the ball. Suckup hits a 52-yard field goal. 8 plays, 11 yards, and 31-9 now. Now we know what's going to happen the rest of the way, but let's go over real quick. Kansas City gets the ball back. 31. They go 11 plays, 64 yards. Turnover on downs. Fourth quarter starts. And now it's just, 9 plays, 40 yards to the Bucs. They punt. Kansas City gets the ball. 10 plays, 60 yards. Turnover on downs. A great game played by the defense. Absolutely. Tampa Bay gets the ball. 3 plays, 6 yards. Punt. Kansas City gets the ball back. 9 plays, 58 yards. Interception. And then, Tampa Bay gets the ball. 3 plays, 2 yards. End of the fourth quarter. That's the game. Now, that was not a lot of yards. That's why I went. I mean, the point of me going over this was that's not. I mean, the most yards they got were in the second half on the turnovers, on the turnover on downs. Now, there's a lot that goes into this. I think it's not just pretty. I mean, Bucks. First off, Bucks played a great game. They deserved to win that game. All that crap, that I see on YouTube, Brady ain't no good. Brady. There's people out there saying Brady. Some guy calls him the luckiest player. This guy stinks. This guy's been around 20-something years. Stinks. That guy stinks. They're called who's the guy? Oh shit, Kaepernick. Some guys, that guy's the best. Like these people. You don't know. Obviously, you don't know anything about football. That's one of the. And I hate to go on social media. Right? I just want to finish talking about the Super Bowl. But these people, Twitter isn't real. Facebook isn't real. None of these things are real. They're all fake. And the people on there don't know what the hell they're talking about. Some of them do. A lot of them don't. Anybody's going to come out there and say, Colin Kaepernick's the best player ever. And Tom Brady stinks. You don't know what you're talking about. Obviously. Anyway, and I saw YouTube talking about that. I'm like, that's ridiculous. So, the defense just played phenomenal. But let's go over the stats real quick, as I usually do when we talk about the games. Chiefs, on the Chiefs side, Mahomes, 26-49, 270, two picks. No touchdowns, 2 picks. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 9 for 64. Good. He played better than I thought he was going to play, but they weren't in a position to use him as much as they could have been if they were in this game, because they were out of this game quick. I just went over the drive summary. They were 7-3, 14-6, and then by the end of the first half, it's 21-6. Like, what the hell happened? And then, they're kicking field goals. They weren't, by the time they started going for it on every play, they were out of it. And it was just too late. So I thought Clyde Edwards-Helaire played better than I thought he would. He had a couple decent runs in there, but they didn't they couldn't establish him. They were just too far behind. And it just, if you watch the game, you saw the tilt, and the tilt just kept going one way. So Patrick Mahomes, 5 for 33 yards. He, okay on the ground. Tyreek Hill, 1 carry for 5 yards. They were desperate to get him the ball because, like I said, the Bucs defense. But I have some other issues. Darrell Williams, 2 for 5 yards. That's nothing. Travis Kelce, again, huge game. Too bad I didn't have him in this game. 10 for 133. That's if you had him in any postseason fantasy leagues, that's 23. That's 23.3 points without the bonus if you have it. Tyreek Hill, 7 for 73. A lot of that was garbage. In the first half, it was very average. I think he had 1 catch or 2 catches in the first half. Not great. They had to manufacture him a touch for him with that end around, I think, which got him 5 yards. So excellent game plan on Tyreek Hill. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 2 for 23. And the rest of the guys, Sammy Watkins, 1 for 13. Now, he was banged up. So, I guess if he was healthier, that would have been better. But, I got some more on Sammy Watkins as the show progresses. Demarcus Robinson, Darrell Williams, caught a couple. McCall Hardman, nothing. Go ahead. And Byron Pringle at 1 for 3. McCall Hardman and Darrell Williams, between them, 4 catches, 14 yards, but 13 targets. 13 targets between these guys. Now, Mahomes was under a ton of pressure throughout the whole game. But 4 out of 13 for 14 yards? Come on, guys. What are you doing? So, Mahomes fumbled, but he didn't lose it. on defense, 1 sack. That's it. Tackles for loss, 3 total tackles for loss. They just didn't, it was a team-wide loss. Now, I'm going to go in, before I get into Tampa Bay, there was a few different factors here. And this is just my opinion. What do I know? I've been watching football for a while. And I've been playing fantasy football for almost as long. But in watching this game, there was a couple things that I realized. And I realized this before. The writing was on the wall before this game started. The coach's son banged into that kid, and that just threw everything. In my opinion, that the game was over when that happened. Given the history of his sons having issues, this is just like, oh, okay. I remember that. The other son that had a problem. I think the other son died or something like that. And I'm not sure if this one or the other one was in the rehab room. They both were. But those kids, I hope nothing but the best for those kids. But they have problems. And what happened right before the Super Bowl was a contributing factor to this loss and how bad this loss was. I think once that happened, all the focus shifted. And, I don't think they were in their right mind. The coach himself was not in his right mind, and that trickled down throughout the whole team. That's my opinion. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I know that was not an easy thing to have to go through. And I pray for there was a little girl involved, and there was another person involved. I saw it real quick, but I was like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see drunk people hitting other people. So that happened. And I think once that happened, I was like, no. I wasn't a big fan of Kansas City winning this game as it is, being the road team. I don't like. That's part of my thing. I'm not big on road teams. Especially winning games. That's why this is usually in a neutral site, but not this year. So I was ready. The first home team in the Super Bowl is going to lose. I don't know. The numbers don't go that way. So I wasn't big on Kansas City going into this game, but then once that happened, I was like, nah. I was going to look into the money line, but I don't think it was juicy enough for me. So, but that was a factor. Another factor that I talked about prior to the game on last week's show was the offensive line. Once Fisher got knocked out, and they went into a little more during the game, it's like, all right, we're moving this guy over here. That ended up having a snowball effect. Like 3 guys had to move because they couldn't just put one guy in there. They had to move another guy over here. Oh, wait, now we have this open spot. I think they moved the guard, tackle, and then they moved another guard in there. And some other guy had to get moved from up the street. I don't know. But in the game, I remember distinctly them saying they had to move 3 guys around just for that. That's not good. That's not good at all. Not good if you're playing an average defense. Definitely not good. Nobody likes me, but when I'm on the show, somebody's got to talk to me. Shit, what the hell? That totally screwed up. If you're playing an average defense, you have to adjust for that. You're playing against a defense, just their specialty is rushing the quarterback. So that factor getting put in there was another huge detriment to the Kansas City side. Those are the 2 big things. Sammy Watkins not being able to be the kind of the third guy out there. I think that was a factor. I think he was hurt going into the game, coming up to the game, and then he played, but 1 for 13 with 1 target for 13 yards. It's not going to cut it. We need another guy because obviously McCall Hardman and Darrell Williams trying to be the third guy got you 4 catches for 14 yards on 13 targets. So I think that was a factor. Those are the 3 main factors. Kelsey and Hill played fairly well. I mean, Kelsey played really well. Tyreek Hill was just they were just playing. They were just using coverage on him. We're just put 17 guys on that guy and make sure nobody gets behind him, and that's it. That's how we're gonna do that. Let Darrell Williams and McCall Hardman beat us, and look what happened. Excellent defensive game plan for Kansas City for Tampa Bay. Now we're gonna go to the Bucs. Tom Brady, 21-29, 201 for 3 touchdowns. I mean, come on. Guy's younger than me. 21-29. I think he was at 80% at halftime. Like, what? So, what? Jesus. Good Lord. But you're at home, you're in the Super Bowl at home. Okay. All right, then. So, Tom Brady, 21-29, 201, just carved them up. Leonard Fournette, 16 for 89 and a touchdown, 5.6 yard average. Ronald Jones, 12 for 61, 5.1 yard average. Brady, 4 for -2. That brings the total average down a little bit. And Scotty Miller, little Scotty, hey, Scotty, -3 yards. Okay. But between Fournette and Jones, 28 carries for 150. 150. 50. It's 5 yards. A little over 5 yards carry. That's running the ball. That's doing what they got to do and running the ball. And that's what they did. 28, 32, 33 carries versus 29 pass attempts. That's balance. And Brady, you got Brady back there. There's a reason he won 7 Super Bowls. Anyway. Gronk in the Super Bowl, 6 or 67 and 2 touchdowns on 7 targets. Leonard Fournette caught 4 for 46. Mike Evans, my man, that's Big Mike right there. That's Big Mike. 1 for 31. They didn't need him. 1 for 31. Cameron Brate, 3 for 26. Antonio Brown, 5 for 22 and a touchdown. Chris Godwin, 2 for 9. Joe Haig went for 1. Tanner Hudson went for 1. And Tyler Johnson went for 1. They had 1 target. None of them caught anything. Those are the guys. I mean, he would take those guys out, and Brady's 21-25. So, that's how that worked out. The defense had 2 picks. They were running, and they had 3 sacks. 3 sacks in the game, but they were all over him. They were all over Mahomes. The defense played out of its mind. They did exactly what they needed to do. I mean, that was hats off to Bowles. Just came up with a plan, an almost perfect plan. Almost perfect defensive plan. And don't forget that a lot of these guys are young. A lot of these guys are, they're coming into their own. I think what's his face already said. Shaq Barrett already said he wants to just back the truck up to his house. You gonna get rid of him after this? I don't think so. So overall, I mean, the game plan for the Bucs was fantastic, and that's how you get 31-9. So that's basically the recap. And I'm going to go over Kansas City and the Bucs a little more. Not much. We're about half the way through. I just wanted to get that out of the way. So that's my take on the Super Bowl. It was all Bucs. It was all Bucs. But Kansas City had nothing good going for them going into this game, and the Bucs took advantage. That's basically a half hour. It's a half hour in like one sentence. But I gotta make it. I got time to fill. If you have time to fill, go to MyBookie. We got sports back pretty much every day now. And if you want to support the 12-ounce sports team, there's an easy way to get into the action. 12-ounce sports is going to hook you up with a crazy deal when you sign up and make your first deposit on MyBookie.ag. When you make that first deposit on MyBookie.ag, they'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 when you punch in the promo code 12OutSports. That's 12 ounce. That's 12OZ Sports, all caps, no spaces, when signing up on mybookie.ag to get your deposit match up to $1,000. Remember, always gamble responsibly. Roll them bones. Roll them bones. I kind of mentioned this real quick during my recap, but I got a couple questions. Going forward for these two, just these two teams specifically, we'll probably get into the rest of the league as free agency goes, and we start getting into the off season, the moves, and all that. We've already seen one big one with Stafford and Goff, and I've already discussed that. I did that last week. But going into this year, let's take the Chiefs. Let's look at the Chiefs first. Now, Mahomes ain't going nowhere. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a rookie. I don't know what the hell? Le'Veon Bell got let go and it got picked up by the Chiefs. I think he got picked up on a regular, like the minimum or something like that. They brought him in just to add some offense. I don't think he's coming back. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're going to pay him to come back. Now, someone else will pick him up. Maybe the Steelers. Their running game is atrocious. But they need a running back. After this year, the Steelers had nothing at running back. Nothing. I think they're done with James Conner. I think Benny Snell's a good guy to have. He's a running back. All right, we have him. I think he's a decent pass catcher and goal line guy, but he's not the answer. James Conner's not the answer. Maybe Le'Veon Bell goes back there. Who knows? Mahomes ain't going nowhere. Tyreek Hill ain't going nowhere. Do they go and check the draft for some extra punch? And I think the defense is where they're going to go. I don't think Kansas City needs anything on offense. As a matter of fact, they'll probably be losing guys. Unless Sammy Watkins comes back on another deal where it's salary cap friendly, renegotiates and takes less money. Maybe. He missed a lot of games at the end of the year. He did not show up in the game. Granted, he was hurt, but he's getting. I'm not sure how old Sammy Watkins is, but he's not young anymore. Obviously they need someone else there. You've got an all-pro tight end and all-pro wide receiver, so what's the problem? You need a guy behind that. There's always another guy that is capable of doing something. And I don't think they have anybody here really who, outside of Sammy Watkins, that can do it. DeMarcus Robinson, 1 for 12 on 2 targets. Darrell Williams, granted he was the running back, and they were dumping it off to him. He didn't even catch. 2 for 10 out of 7 targets. McCall Hardman, here's your shot, McCall. Now, great. He's got the speed. 2 for 4 out of 6 targets. Not great, especially with all that speed. So I think they're going to need to bring in somebody, not first round, but maybe somebody in free agency. I got to see who's on the market. But they could lose Sammy Watkins. They could say, you know what, we want a younger guy who's not going to get hurt. Sammy Watkins does have a little bit of an injury history. So I think they're going to work on the offense a little bit in terms of wide receivers, maybe a running back later. But they're definitely going to work on offensive line and the defense. That's definitely going to be primary on their list, because that offensive line, one guy got hurt, and we're doing this now. We're doing this. What are you doing? You can't do that. So that's going to be an issue I think they're going to address in free agency and the draft. Defense, you need to stop the run. You need to stop the run, bro. You can't have teams. The Tampa Bay should. Oh, you want to beat these guys? Run the ball. Just run the ball on them. Now, granted, you have to be able to run the ball, but Tampa Bay at the beginning of the year didn't have Fournette, they went out and got him. They went out and drafted Tristan Wirfs. They're off. They built that up, and they went out and got guys to help with that. You need to be able to run the ball. You can't just throw the ball all the time. So I think they need to shore that up. And Kansas City's the class of the AFC. Buffalo's coming up. Baltimore's good. Cleveland's playing better. I think they take a little dip next year because nobody was expecting them to do anything this year. But I think they're odds on to go back again next year. But they do need help. They were exposed in this game. On the Bucs side, you need a young quarterback. I don't think who they got. Blaine Gabbert. I think you're going to go and grab a kid in the draft. Now, again, not first round, but they're going to go grab somebody and say, hey, get over here. Want to hang out with this guy? This good-looking seven-time NFL champ that's like super awesome. Want to go hang out with him? He'll show you stuff. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do it. You're not going to start. That's fine. That's fine. So, I think they're going to go for that. I think they're going to go, they may go running back, but I think they're going to, like all good teams, I think they're going to start working around the base, which is the offensive line, defensive line. I see them getting offensive, defensive help, offensive line and defensive line help. Dominican Sue's old, Jason Pierre's old. These guys, they played out of their minds, but they need some good young help. So I see them going after some young guys in the draft. You get nothing but young guys in the draft. But I see them going after some offensive and defensive linemen in the draft. I don't think they're going to go after any running backs. I mean, they may if Fournette leaves, which I think they're going to try and keep Fournette. And Ronald Jones is still there. They got Keyshawn Vaughn, maybe another year of seasoning, and he can contribute. But they've got some running backs, so they're good there. Tight end, you got Brady, you've got Gronkowski, you've got O.J. Howard coming back, I believe. He got hurt, so he was screwed. The wide receivers are fine. I don't know what's going to happen with Antonio Brown, but he's shown that he can still play. So he'll probably, if he doesn't come back, he'll definitely get a job somewhere. And the defense, they're young. The core is young. So, they're probably going to work on, some defensive help, some offensive line help, maybe some wide receiver. That's the thing about this team. You can go anywhere. I mean, I think they're going to go quarterback, young quarterback, not first round, but maybe second, third, and, go with it, keep their offense pretty much held together. They could lose Antonio Brown. I don't see them losing Chris Godwin. Maybe Fournette, since he's on a one-year deal, I think. And if so, maybe they go for a running back. Just pick up a running back. But this team's set up. Both these guys are set up. There could be some losses on the offensive side. I don't see much on the defensive side. It's going to go due to their young age. They could lose some defensive linemen, Sue or Pierre-Paul, but I think Pierre-Paul slided a big deal a couple years ago. I don't know if he has how many more years he has left on that, if he has any. But that's where I see them going in the offseason, these two teams. Fantasy-wise, they're all going to be around the same spots. I think Travis Kelce's going to get drafted in the first round next year. If not the beginning of the second. I got him in the second round every time. Even late in one league, but I got him. So everybody else is going to be moved up a little bit, especially on the Kansas City side. So that's why I think they're going in the offseason, these two teams. It's going to be interesting to watch. Fantasy-wise, see if Kansas City picks up a third wide receiver or a second wide receiver to go on the other side, and what his impact will be fantasy-wise. I see the Bucs having pretty much the same kind of offense coming back next year, and everybody doing the same pretty much, being drafted around the same areas. But it's going to be, next year being another fun year, and we'll see what happens. But, that's my take on the offseason for these two teams. what they need, what they're probably going to go for. But we'll see. Who knows? Who knows? But you know what I do know? I know about Zingo TV. I sure do. Check out Zingo TV. It's free. Please use the promo code 12ounce. I've said that before. 120Z. It really helps us when you do that, so we'd appreciate it if you go check it out. ZingoTV.com. You got to check it out. 12-Ounce Sports is channel 761. Plus, they have other actual sports channels and music channels, a bunch of other stuff. You have to go look to find what you like. It's free. Like I say every week, it's free. Zingo TV. Go check it out. It's free. Please sign up and use the promo code 12ounce, 120Z on Zingo TV. It's free on Zingo TV when you use the promo code 120Z. That kind of rhymes. It's pretty good. I gotta make that into a song. I'm like gonna be strumming stuff. Zingo TV is free. Go 120Z. It writes itself. But seriously, go check out ZingoTV.com and use the promo code 12ounce. That's 120Z. And sign up. It's all free TV. Plus, extra added bonus. Saturday morning, 11 a.m., you get this show, the replay. You're coming home, you're doing the walk of shame, because we have so many women out there watching this show. They can come home and check out Talk About Radio. So many women are into fantasy football. I know. That's how I get it. That's how I get everything I need. Anyway. So, let's do this first. Well, in case you haven't heard, Trevor Lawrence went to work out and I'm trying to find it. I had it. No, I don't have it. Oh, let me pull it back up. I don't want. All right, we'll try this. We'll try this. Pats attended Trevor Lawrence Pro Day. Here, okay. God. All this crap comes up. Okay. So, stop. Please stop. I think the guy. All right, we're good. Bye-bye. So the article says Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence, one of the top prospects of his generation. Every year, it's a generational quarterback. That's not true. They're just trying to hype it up. It puts on his impressive skills on display for NFL talent evaluators on Friday. He had his pro day at the Clemson indoor facility, and people from 17 different teams were in attendance. New England Patriots were among the teams with multiple representatives at the event, per Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer. 31 guys in attendance at Clemson from 17 NFL teams. 49ers had 2. Broncos and Chargers had 2. Dolphins, Eagles, and Falcons had 4. The Giants had 2. The Jaguars had 3. The Jets had 3. The Lions had 2. The Panthers had 3. Patriots had 2. And the Raiders, Saints, Steelers, Texans, and Titans all had 1 person there. Patriots had 2. What are they planning on doing? Nobody's getting them. The Jaguars are getting them. They're not letting him. They're not letting this guy go. Would I don't know. I'm not big on this whole generational talent thing. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't know how good he's going to be in the NFL, but let's look into what they had to say. Now, first off, and I've talked about this before, I am a big proponent of I'm a huge Bill Parcells fan. And I always liked his take on drafting rookie quarterbacks, because there has to be a system for you to draft. Quarterback historically has been the most difficult position to draft for at a college. And he's the only one that I've seen put something out there that, other people put things out there, but his seems to make the most sense, and it's, he's, of course you're going to have misses in there, but at least, his criteria makes sense. And I like where he's coming from. Some guys, and the thing about drafting a rookie quarterback, especially if you're using a high pick on him, you better be right. If you're wrong, you're all out of here. You're everybody. You picked him, you're out. You were next to him when you picked him, you're out. Your wife, she's mopping up, she's out. You're all out. Everybody, we're bringing in new people, and we're going to draft somebody else. We ain't doing this because that knocks you out of the box for a while. Look at Washington if they wouldn't have had Alex Smith this year. Where would they have been? That guy was a train wreck. And, Haskins, I'm getting old and I'm forgetting things. Haskins, that guy was a train wreck this year. And they drafted him 15th. They were talking about the Giants. Like, Giants let that guy go. They should have drafted him. Now, Daniel Jones, nothing to write home about. I guess he's still learning, but boy, he looks like light years ahead of that guy. That guy is just, you gotta have the head for it. So that's why I like Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells when he goes there. So let's go over it before we go over Trevor Lawrence. Now I don't have. Well, if you know, that's fine, but I don't. So number one, you got to be a 3-year starter. I'm going to go over this in the offseason more. You have to be a senior in college. You have to graduate from college. You have to start 30 games, win 23 games, post a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, and complete at least 60% of his passes. Now, they haven't done the 2021 quarterbacks yet, so we don't know. Some people who follow college, I don't follow college. It's NFL's enough for me. And I have a job and I work. So, 40 hours a week has to go there, and then the rest of the time you can have fun with this. But, so I'm not sure how many of these categories Trevor Lawrence checks off. And for that matter, some of the other quarterbacks I'm going to talk about. But we're going to go into this because every year they put it up. There's got to be something to it if every year they use Bill Parcells' criteria to check on the quarterbacks coming out in the draft. So, got to be something. So that's the criteria. There's 7 spots. Let's talk about. Trevor Lawrence had his. Where is it? Let's look at the projections. Hold on. I don't know how this got so screwed up. Jacksonville Jaguars have the number 1 pick in the upcoming draft. They're expected to select Lawrence. The Jaguars need a quarterback. It would be absolutely foolish to pass up. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I know. He completed 69% of his passes for 31-53 with 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in 10 games for the Tigers this year. He led Clemson to the college football playoff. Each of his 3 seasons as a starting quarterback. He was a starter for 3 years, including a national title as a freshman. It's possible teams they're not trading for this guy. The Jaguars ain't trading this guy away. And that's it. It's just a quick little thing. So, a bunch of teams are there to check this guy out. I don't blame them, but the Jaguars are getting him. Now, fantasy-wise, coming into this year, there's a couple issues with Lawrence. And let's talk about the quarterbacks coming out. And let's stick with Lawrence for a second. Now, I'm laying it out. I'm not a college guy. All right? I've watched some college games. I watched the playoffs. So I've seen 2 of these quarterbacks at least. I saw Lawrence. Here's I'm at, where is it? Dynasty Gurus, Dynasty guy. But he's talking about Trevor Lawrence with the first overall pick. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence. All directions seem to be pointed that way. Has shown for 90 touchdowns, 17 picks in his college career, paired with career completion percentage of 666. Ooh, that's not good. He led the Tigers to 2 national championship appearances, only lost 2 games in 3 years as a starter. Lawrence missed 2 games in 2020, but still finished near the top of the ACC in passing touchdowns, 24 passing yards, 31-53. His pocket presence, athleticism, escapability, and he's a winner. That's what they put out there for him. So as you can see, he's already hit some of these marks. I don't know if he's graduated or not, but we'll go over that later on. Now, okay, he's coming in. He's going to be the number 1 pick. He's got the size. He's got all the intangibles. Looks like, but he's coming into a rookie. First, he's a rookie. Now, I'm not saying you can't go crazy. He's a rookie. Or at least play well. Be fantasy relevant. Just had Justin Herbert this year. Joe Burrow. The quarterbacks coming in to the NFL now are getting thrown in there, and they're playing a lot. I mean, now it's a little different. It's a lot different than college, but you're playing a lot more spread out, and you're out there. We're throwing the ball. We're throwing the ball now in this league. We're not running it as much. You should run it. You should run the ball. I mean, the Patriots, the Bucs just showed you that it's good to run the ball. But they're giving these kids, they're throwing them into the fire, and they're producing fantasy-wise. Is this guy going to be able to do what Herbert and Burrow did last year? We'll find out. But he's coming in as a rookie with a rookie coach as well. A rookie coach coming out of college. So how is that going to work out? I'm a little hesitant on that because I don't like college coaches coming in the NFL. Oh, they're always going to change the NFL. When he comes in, he's going to change. That doesn't really work out that much. Sometimes they do well. Sometimes they stink the joint up. I don't know what's going to happen there. So I'm a little hesitant on Trevor Lawrence I think he's going to have some fantasy impact. He's going to get drafted. He could do well. He could be Justin Herbert. He could be Joe Burrow. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm a little hesitant with the rookie coach coming in. Justin Fields from Ohio State looked good. From what I saw, he looked pretty good. Is he going to be? How much has he played? He played in 2019. He played in 2020. He had some tough games. He threw 6 picks. Now, Justin Fields, are people going to be hesitant because of Dwayne Haskins? Guarantee people are thinking that. He's not going to go second. He's not going to go second. There's no way. Well, maybe if the Jets pick him, if the Jets are picking, he may go second. I'm a little, off these Ohio's. I've never seen a good. Who's the last good Ohio State quarterback that came out? I don't know. I don't follow a lot of college football, so I don't know. I know them as pros. I don't know them as college. So I could be wrong. There could be guys who came out of Ohio State that played well. But I think the recency bias of Dwayne Haskins is going to push him down, unless he goes to the Jets at number 2. I don't know. Maybe. But we'll see. He could have a good year. He could have a good career. He could have a good first year. He can move around a little bit. I'm always big on. I've grown into a guy who will take guys based on dual threat, meaning throwing and running. So if he could do that, I would probably take him. Not as high as Trevor Lawrence, but I would probably take him later in the draft. So that's what I think of Justin Fields. I think recency bias is going to push him down in the draft. He'll probably get drafted depending on where he goes. If he goes to the Jets, I don't see him getting drafted. But if he goes somewhere else that has some offensive weapons, he'll probably get drafted. I'm talking in the fantasy draft. Trevor Lawrence is going to get drafted no matter what, but he's not going to get drafted very high. Probably get drafted somewhere in the teens. This guy, just popping out of nowhere, Zach Wilson. And the first thing they say, someone who really burst onto the scene this past season was Brigham Young signal caller, Zach Wilson. Wilson put up top-tier numbers, 36.92 in passing yards, 33 touchdowns. Also second to Mac Jones in completion percentage, 73.5. 10 rushing touchdowns. He can be a dual threat. That's big. Wilson helped the Cougars finish the season ranked 11th in the AP. Not bad. He can scramble. He can throw the deep ball. That's huge. That's huge. Arm strength and field vision. It looks like Kyler Murray. Now, these guys who just pop up out of nowhere, and you can play. You know, you can be one of those guys who comes on the scene and blows up. This will probably, now we got to wait until we get to the combine, have pro days. That's when people really start solidifying their spots. But this guy, whenever somebody bursts on the scene, especially a quarterback, you're immediately in the running to be a first-round pick. So if he goes to the right situation, not the Jets, I got to qualify with not the Jets. There's plenty of offensive weapons out there on crappy teams that if he goes there, he can be viable. And by viable, I mean late-round pick, possibly, like a third quarterback that, okay, let's see if he becomes a Justin Herbert this year, becomes a Joe Burrow this year. Depending on where he goes, he could be that guy. Again, haven't seen this guy, just going on hype. So, grain of salt, please. Trey Lane, another guy I've heard about. And the reason I heard about North Dakota State, hey, North Dakota, the Bullfrogs or whatever the hell they are. Probably the biggest question mark was Trey Lance. Once Lance took the reins of full-time start, he never lost a game and led the Bison to a title. Lance threw for 28 touchdowns, 27.98 in passing yards, 669 and 66.9 completion percentage, and added 14 rushing touchdowns and 1,100 rushing yards to end the 2019 campaign. That's dual threat. Yo, cuz. That's dual threat right there. That is immediately going to put you on the radar again. The small school thing is probably going to hurt him a little bit. Again, recency bias with Carson Wentz, possibly. Maybe because it's so far out from that. But I mean, you never know. Small school is going to hurt him. We'll see. We'll see where he goes. The Combine's going to answer a lot of questions on that. Mac Jones, Alabama. Now, he played really well this year. They won a national title. They averaged 29 points a game. He put up 4,500 yards, 77.4 completion percentage, 11 yards per attempt. Ranked first in everything. Finished second in passing touchdowns with 41 to 4 interceptions. Excuse me. And won all kinds of awards. Davey O'Brien and the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm. Okay. He's got good deep ball. Again, not a big fan of Alabama quarterbacks. They're just some quarterbacks that they just don't work out for some reason. But, we'll see what happens. And Kyle Trask out of Florida. Now we're getting to the guys I don't know about. And Kyle Trask, he could be good. We'll see what happens. We're going to look up a lot of these guys as we go into the off season and all that. That's the show. Hope you liked it. And be sure to sign up, subscribe to my show, to YouTube, and you'll see clips of the show. Bye-bye.